Hi, peeps. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of a interesting insight into this story about these paths replaying and what seems to be moving through the story in the Maya, the collective, the world, if you want to say, because this is a dream, right? It's unraveling. As the one is waking itself up from the illusion that, it's a person and everything else. People are believing that they are a person and this is my body, my life, all this, in the Maya. And if you listen to those videos I share plenty of them. And if you've seen it, and this is what I've been sharing with you, that yeah, absolutely. So what you perceive yourself to be is just, as they say, a contracted energy. This is the one that perceives it's real, the fake I, which you want to call the ego. There's no such thing, actually. There's only source. And there's this appearing as everything else, but there's only source. So there's no individual people at all existing or anything separate. So in the Maya, this is how it plays. It's a dream. It dreams itself to be separate by that. When it does that, when it falls into the dream, as I say, it's contracted energy in the body. And this is what you want to call the 0 point. This is when you meditate, zip, it goes into that. And that story is contained in that. So that contracted energy, which is, you would say yourself, and you presume this fake I, this illusion of a person, right? So this is when you meditate. These are all experiences created in the brain, created by, this is all the fake I. So all those experiences are that. So when you do that, you go into that center point of energy. That's that energy. And everything that, geez, it's difficult to explain it. This fake, say you believe this person, you, your soul, your life, that all its stories are there. You see, so it's energies. So there's nothingness. I've shared, Bashar's got 2 videos which kind of explains it quite well, how this so-called structure, when it creates this fake I personality structure, he's trying to explain it in physical terms, so you would, perceive it as being a person, how this thing, works. And then he also explains exactly there isn't, because this is true. There's nothing. This is created out of nothing, because there's only energy, thought. So there is no matter, there's nothing here. So this is why I keep saying to people, the past doesn't, work. It doesn't happen. It's a story. The past and the time, everything is just a thought. So how do I explain this? Like this morning, sitting in meditation, it's a different one I do. I don't do focus in. It's actually relaxing. So you relax into nothingness, really. And then what I saw, what appears to be going on, is sorry, I've just made my drink this morning, so my hands are full of turmeric. It really stains your fingers really badly. So what is really interesting, what you seem to perceive is, as it's falling apart, right, as the so-called fake I is weakening, disappearing, whatever else, the energy is relaxing or whatever, it's, yeah, you're waking up from your dream. These things are detaching. So this is interesting, actually, what was perceived this morning. You sit there, and what I perceived was, as this, because now this contracted piece of energy, which you believe is you, which creates this fake you, right, because you're pulling in, is relaxing. So when it does that, everything that it's attached to, which you think are your life, your stories, that's not a past, they're just a story attached to that. It comes up as a story, and you're like, oh yeah, that was my past. That's what I'm saying. There is no past, there's nothing. So these are thoughts. The time is a thought, and you get them now. So it sends it to you, no, that was my past. Oh, yeah. It's incredible. This is releasing. So what you see, if there's nothing here in the center, there's no person, there's nothing clinging to it, it's relaxing, it's releasing. So it's so strange. There's just nothingness, and then there's, say, this story of my past, and there's time, and there's this. So it's like concepts, ideas. So what they are is just now floating. So now they are free, because they belong to no one. There isn't anyone. So all it is what you say, this story, your past, it's just stories that it came in, obviously maybe because of momentum, maybe it's because of the genetic, whatever, the body in the story, past habits, patterns genetically, whatever. So exactly. So the one mind, source, nothingness, feeds all things. There's no separate mind, separate person, separate anything. It feeds the ant, the snail, depending exactly what its patterns, story, and repeats, or DNA, whatever, it needs. So that's why you perceive yourself. You have different things you like, different. It's just to do with the body itself, so-called body. So it's just so bizarre to try and explain to anyone, because when you realize that, if you get the point that there is nothing, right, nothing, and there's no matter, these are just floating. They belong to no one. So the story, you don't have a past because there's no you. So you don't have a life. There's no person having a life. There's no story. There's none of this. As it relaxes, it's like being released, because it's got nothing to attach to, because there's no one holding on to it. There's no that fake I grabbed onto that. You see, it's my life, my this, my that, and accumulated all these things, the story, the past, whatever. And as it's releasing, poof. So all you have, it's relaxing into nothingness again. So it's really bizarre to try and. I don't know how you can try and explain this to yourself. To this, and there's no one, but I mean, how do you explain it? Because you have to perceive it. You have to see it, understand, perceive it to understand what I'm saying. Especially if you really believe you're a person and a body, and this, you have a life and a soul, and this is, it's just, not going to. Yeah, I won't want to hear this one. But it is funny. So sitting there today, same with this. The knowledge yesterday came. I thought, no, fuck this nonsense. We're not attaching to that story or that thing or replaying that story again. It's not happening. It's like, nah. No thanks. We don't fancy wheelchairs and, like, fuck that, no. But there is no one to choose either. So it's clever. It tries to draw you back into the game